Hate crime stats are out and surprise, surprise, they're on the rise. A charity CEO talks exclusively to Quays about what on earth is going on.
And the voice is back again, but this time with a fresh face. Megan Trainor takes over from Jennifer Hudson, but that is no surprise. More later on Quays.
Good afternoon, welcome to Quays News. I'm Bethan Edwards.
And I'm Oliver Yald. And we start with a very hard-hitting story of a mother who tragically lost her son to suicide, and now she wants to get the message out that it's okay to talk.
Talking about it was something Pamela Higgins didn't do for 10 years, at least publicly. Now, in an age where mental health is often in the headlines, the mother from Swinton in Salford has spoken exclusively to our reporter, Anna Mason.
How old was he in that photo?
28. It was taken just before he got took in hospital at the Christmas.
Right.
Anthony Higgins took his own life 10 years ago. This is the first time his mum Pam has had the courage to talk about the loss of her son.
Somebody on the ward had gone out and bought him vodka and he'd got drunk because it was his birthday. So they stopped his medication, which interrupted the flow of the medication, and he killed himself on the 7th, so 3 days after his birthday. He used to say he didn't want to be here, and the conversations we used to have, and I used to say to him, promise me you will not do. I won't, mum, but he did. With Anthony, I would say he'd gone too far. There was no coming back for Anthony. He genuinely thought that we would all be better off without him, because all he said, as he said, I only ever bring pain to you. And I said, but I'd rather you bring pain than you not bring anything.
To remember Anthony, Pam created a memorial at the window she would look out of and watch him play when he was younger. The memorial includes picture frames, a ship that Anthony's dad made, a tree with lights and candles. Pam will light a candle for Anthony every night. 78% of us would tell our friends and family that we are fine, even though we are suffering with mental health problems. This expresses the importance of talking about mental health and suicide to challenge the stigma behind it.
That's one of him. That's my daughter. That's another one of him growing up. Even when they're ill and they know they're suffering, I think they feel that they're going to be judged. Do you know what I mean? And especially with men. Because with men, you get this persona that they're supposed to be big, tough and strong, and I can cope with whatever's thrown at me. And they can't. They're no different from us women. If I can stop one person from doing what Anthony did, even if it's just going to the doctors and getting help, if I can stop one person from doing it and destroying the mum and dad's lives, or the sisters, or the brothers, or their own children, then that's why I want to do it, to raise awareness.
Salford City Council displayed yellow flags outside the Civic Centre to represent the suicides that have taken place in Salford.
It's more than 2 years since Tony Walsh stood in central Manchester and recited his poem, This Is the Place, in the wake of the arena bomb. It helps raise almost £200,000. Now he's about to go on tour, but he came into our studio first and spoke to Daniel Wilson.
Tour, and where has this all come from?
As a performance poet, it's what we do, you know. And I've got poems that make people laugh. I've got some quite rude poems, you know. I've got poems that really go deep and tell personal stories. I've got some Manchester poems that I do locally. I've got some political stuff, and I really try and take people on a journey, you know, give them an entertaining night out and try and help people get their heads around what a poetry night is really capable of being, you know.
How do you go about starting a poem? Like, where does your inspiration come from? They
can come from lots of places. Sometimes it's commission and you're given a brief, and I enjoy that. I've come to enjoy stepping into a world that I might not know anything about and soaking up the language and crafting it into something. Sometimes it often starts, I'm you know, a rhyme, and often I get a little rhyme, a little idea that starts the poem. Sometimes mine often start with the last line.
Yeah.
You know, the end. Oh, that's the punchline that I need to set up. But it can come from all sorts of places. Sometimes it's I need to write about that issue, or just a beautiful moment. I have a notebook, or I speak into my phone. Just little moments, little turns of phrase, and things come from all sorts of places. But somebody famously once said, if I knew where they came from, I'd go there every day. And yeah, as long as you keep coming, that's the main thing.
The Rochdale Literature and Ideas Festival launched on Monday. As part of the festival, we had the chance to go down and speak to Jules Evans about his new book and a little bit about his life.
House here in Rochdale interviewing Jules Evans about the philosophy of life.
Jules has attended the Rochdale Literature and Ideas Festival to give his audience an insight into how he found philosophy.
Very briefly, I had some emotional problems from the age of about 18 to 24. I was later diagnosed with social anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. And I got help through cognitive behavioural therapy, like a lot of people now. It's a very popular type of therapy that the government's put a lot of money into.
The Voice has launched here in Media City. Charlie's here to tell us more about that. But first, films and what a year it's been for cinema so far, Charlie.
Yes, exactly, definitely. Wow, with Joker. Well, good afternoon. And we start with Joker, the film that's been dominating the headlines for the last 2 weeks. Now, Joaquin Phoenix has returned to play the role of the Clown Prince of Crime, the movie that's grossed over $500 million worldwide in the last 12 days. Reports have been circling around Phoenix, and they claim he may be up for an Academy Award. Now, Joker has some great locations, some fantastic performances, and an actor who can capture the audience's attention with its fantastic twists and his great character development. Now moving on to earlier this week, Breaking Bad dropped their movie with El Camino, and Aaron Paul reprising his role as Jesse Pinkman. The film is set after the finale of Breaking Bad, and will show how Pinkman will want to move on from Walter White's crystal meth business and make amends for all his wrongdoings. However, the film has been given some mixed reviews, especially by those who are hardcore fans of the show, being given a 7.7 rating on IMDb. If you're not a hardcore fan of Breaking Bad, or you've not seen anything about this series, this may not be the film for you. But if you are a big Breaking Bad fan, and you've seen Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, then this will have some amazing callbacks to the original shows. And finally, this week we will see the release of the box office hit Zombieland sequel, Zombieland Double Tap, on Friday. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin will return to the Zomcom, and early reviews have been given this movie a 7.3 rating on IMDb. The movie is set 10 years after the original movie and shows our zombie-slaying gang growing as a family, with some hilarious moments including Woody Harrelson's character Tallahassee dancing around the White House. Now, just across from the Lowry Cinema, The Voice has returned for its 8th year here in Salford. Fans have gathered on the red carpet to meet the stars. Sophie Buxton has more.
The Voice is back here at Media City, UK. Tonight the coaches and presenters will be walking down the red carpet before the search to find the UK's next great voice begins.
Voice UK 2019.
Fans didn't let the rain dampen their spirits as they waited patiently to catch a glimpse of this year's coaches as they took to the red carpet.
Excited to see tonight.
Ollie.
Are you really? Are you big Ollie fan?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And have you been watching the Voice in the past?
Yes, I've been to see Ollie a few times now on The Voice.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch his hand tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to get to.
The reason I'm here is because my granddaughter wants to try and get a photograph of them. We've been here all day waiting.
Probably Tom Jones, even though he did spend like a lot of time like outside, he just went like just kind of straight in, just like.
I think he's cool enough. He can just go in, can't he?
will.i.am returns this year alongside new judge Meghan Trainor. And auditions begin this Friday.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you very much.
So, Ollie, have you ever been to The Voice yourself?
You know, I actually have. I went to see it about 3 years ago now. It was interesting. It was one of the first TV shows I ever went to see. Yeah. I got to meet Jennifer Hudson. Of course, she's not in it this year, but got to meet Tom Jones and will.i.am. It was amazing. I was starstruck. I actually was.
So good.
frequently. This morning it was raining, but now Media City is enjoying a sunny, crisp afternoon. Let's go to Natasha Pierce to find out more.
This Wednesday in Salford, the morning was gloomy with light, constant rain throughout. But as expected, the day has become sunnier and very breezy. The Oktoberfest party revelers can rest assured the evening will be dry. For the rest of the week, light clouds and rain in good old Manchester fashion. That's all for this week. Back to the studio.
That's all from us. That's all from us this week on Quays News.
But don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Quays News.
We'll be back for more news next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.